and financial guides are back on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, to share with you what you need to know in order to navigate the sometimes confusing markets and guide you toward financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
The saddest few minutes of our week, the end of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show every Thursday. Are you sad?
I'm so sad.
Yes, every Thursday. We only get 2 hours with you, and we like these 2 hours, and we love the hour we've had right here with Randy Plaice and Liz Perez. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Always fun with you guys. You guys are real. You guys are just real peeps, real professionals, and just fun. And that's what we like bringing out, because you should definitely contact these guys, because they're just good people. You'll love them. I mean, at least you'll love Liz.
Hey, you know what? You had an impact in our household pretty early on. You know, my wife just moved here from Argentina, and we moved into Valencia, and we live in Tesoro. So, you know, she's like, look at this guy. He kept doing postcards in Tesoro. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Okay, and that's a clever play on his word, because it's Randy Plaice, Plaice. So no place like home. I like it.
Thank you, guys.
It is, and it is true. It is true. There is no place like home. Just like our home right here in the vault. You guys like the vault?
I
very
love
nice.
the vault.
Very cool.
Very
nice.
Very cozy, right? We get to spend a little more time in here. It just feels more intimate. Yep. We're actually looking at each other instead of like the side of each other's heads. It's good.
Yeah. Yes. Otherwise we'd have to put Liz on her good side. Both sides. So there's no worries there. All right. Before we close out, we want to go over a great scenario. This is something, this is real life stuff. When we talk about what's going on in the markets, it's real life. It's happening right now. In fact, I write this stuff literally the night or the morning of, so it's timely. One thing I do want to bring up is if you're going to hear about mortgage applications down and so forth, just so you know, median home prices just this last month is still up 12.8% year over year nationwide. Double digits nationwide, so don't panic. Get into a home. That means that prices will continue to rise, and interest rates are going to go up. I didn't need a crystal ball for that. Just get into a home. Make sure you reach out to Randy Plaice and Liz Perez, Don and Gino. You can reach out to us at 855-DON-GINO, 855-DON-GINO. We'll make sure we'll hook you up with them. Go to our website, donandgino.com. Just make sure you take action, please. I guarantee you'll be glad you did. Plain and simple. All right, tell your story. I like this because you guys worked on this has got a happy ending.
It does, and the way it started was Randy met a gentleman who had a particular situation, reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you think you can help this guy?" And I said, "Well, it's going to be challenging, right?" I probably said it in different words, but I was like, "Wow, I'm not sure, Randy. Let me see what we can do."
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, they talk about teeing it up. It was on a Jello tee. I was like, but ultimately, as the weeks wore on and the information came in, it started like every little piece of the puzzle came into play. And what was really challenging about this individual is that they had a past loan modification. So if you're out there and you have a past loan modification, you think you can't move on or can't buy a bigger, better home because of it, there are ways to get around it with the proper documentation. Now, Randy, if you and Liz can tell a little bit more about the particulars of his home and why he needed to move out of his home.
Sure. He's a hardworking gentleman. He has three small children, and because of his family expanding, like we were saying earlier, he needed to expand. He needed to get into a larger home because they were all crammed into a very small home.
It's not because they were overeating.
No, that's Thanksgiving that's coming up. This was in fall. So yeah, he needed to expand. He needed to get into another home, and he wanted to move to a nicer part of town as well. So he wanted to make that transition for his family. And calling on Gino and being able to get him pre-approved through all of that was a huge thing for him. And the transaction was very, very challenging on both ends, on the finance side with you guys, but also on the real estate transaction side for us, because we were selling his home and then he was also acquiring another property.
Right.
There were all sorts of things that went sideways there, but we were able to work through it, with you guys as our team, but also on our end and with him to get through it and get him into his happy ending.
In fact, Randy, one of the things I do want to clarify is that, someone that's out there listening to the show might think, oh, well, why do I want to work with someone that had difficulty during a transaction? No, the reality is we had all hoped that transactions were nice and smooth and easy, but in today's day and age, they're all complicated. They've all got some hair on them. And you want to work with agents and lenders that have worked through many or hundreds of difficult transactions, because that's what gives you the experience to take the right actions on your client's behalf.
And also, playing off of that, there's usually, knock on wood, usually two agents, a party to any transaction. So we can be the most professional team in the world, which I'd like to think we are very professional, but we never know what's going on the other side. They could be very professional. They might be new. There's a lot of variables that could come into play that could cause the deal to go sideways just because maybe they didn't see something coming. They didn't inform their client. Sometimes it's no fault of anybody's. It's just something happens. Something gets vandalized. Something, something unforeseen. So, yeah, you need to have seen enough fire so you know how to put them out effectively.
I got to tell you that recently I've seen a lot of title issues, more than I've seen in the rest of my career. In the last 6 months, a lot of title issues, so keep your eye open for those.
Good. Okay, since we're heading into Thanksgiving, and I want you all to get to know Liz and Randy like we do, because we love these guys. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving?
Go for it.
So far, his mom's coming over, and I have to ask my parents because they were going to go out of town. And then he had a friend. Randy had one of his best friends who's kind of, probably was going to be coming over too. So, that I was going to have more people there, and
So this is the first joint Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, yeah, big stuff.
And they got the crazy uncle that drinks too much?
No.
We're going to keep this very lean and mean. It's going to
right.
be the intimate, immediate family.
And
only.
Obviously that would probably be on my side of the family.
The crazy drunk uncles will be at the wedding.
Can't wait to meet them.
Yeah, they'll be awesome.
Well, very good. And okay, so let's recap a little bit before we close off the show, because you guys had some great information regarding how to be successful in buying and selling a home. And I love how you got in depth, Randy, about the particulars that you share with your clients, your sellers, on how you come up with the value. Meaning, it's not just they sold it for that, and therefore I want to sell mine for this.
Right.
Name out those couple of particulars real quick again.
Well, we'll look at the unique selling propositions of the property, either their property or the comp that they're looking at. Maybe there's a view, maybe there's upgrades in the kitchen or what have you. We'll also look at the time frame when it's sold. Make sure it was within the last 3 months or so, 3 to 6 months, depending on the available comps in the area. And anything else that really stands out. If there's something majorly important that's detracting or increasing the value of one or the other, we'll call that out also.
And of course, supply and demand.
And supply and demand's always a factor, always.
Yeah, so it's good that you look at those things to help out your clients and make sure they're successful, because pricing it right is key. Wouldn't you also agree right now that there's some new opportunities with the increase in inventory? I mean, now that for buyers. Now, for a while, they were pretty frustrated. Now there's a lot more homes for you to look at. So if you were frustrated because you put in an offer and there's 20 offers on it and some cash buyer beat you out, you can get into a home right now and potential negotiations, right?
In fact, Randy, I'm going to thank you for this, but you helped one of our buyers, a VA, a veteran, be able to buy one of the listings that you had for your seller, and that went off. That was a great, successful transaction.
We appreciated that. That was a win-win across the board. That was a great situation.
Yeah.
And playing off what you said, that it is a case where buyers do have more opportunities now, but keep in mind that you still have to be prepared. You still have to come in with that pre-approval and the right mindset that if you love something, you can't sit on the fence for a week and think about it. You have to pull the trigger with a well-written, well-thought-out offer paired with a pre-approval from a lender like you guys that actually has some weight behind it.
Smart words from Mr. Randy Plaice, and thank you for being part of our show again today, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Liz, for dressing up our beautiful digs here. You just made it more beautiful.
Thanks.
You guys are great peeps. Please reach out to the Randy Plaice team. Again, phone number?
Our number out here in the 661 is 661-505-8531, or in the Valley area it's 818-294-0414.
Email?
Email is randy@randyplaice.com. That's Plaice, or her email. Never mind, huh? You guys have already said how beautiful she is. Never mind, she doesn't have an email.
Yeah. You just blocked them. All right.
Email, nothing.
Thank you again, you guys, for being part of our show. We love having you on and love working with you and love the great job you do for the Santa Clarita Valley residents. And thank you for joining our show. Great job, AP Productions, Furman and George. And thank you, Miss Shannon Fosna, our producer, and Peter running the board at KHTS, and, of course, my good friend and co-host, Mr. Gino Franti.
Thank you, buddy. Stay tuned for Joe Messina coming up next.
Oh, no.